An exchange rate, simply speaking, is the value of one currency expressed in terms of another currency. For instance, $1 can be exchanged for 75 Indian rupees. When the relative value of a currency moves in relation to another currency, it is said to have appreciated or depreciated. For instance, if $1 can now be exchanged for 100 Indian rupees instead of 75 earlier, the US dollar is said to have appreciated, and the Indian rupee is said to have depreciated. In a globalized world where people are constantly traveling across countries, and more importantly, goods and services are being exchanged across border, exchange rates are the central pillars of the modern economic world. When a country's currency depreciates, it makes its exports more competitive, and that is very desirable for countries and governments. For instance, when the Indian rupee depreciates from 75 to 100 rupees for $1, a consumer in the US will be able to buy more goods from India with the same $1, and hence exporters from India will gain a competitive advantage and will find it easier to sell to US consumers. However, conversely, it will be more expensive for customers in India to import goods from the US. That is, a customer in India would now have to pay 100 Indian rupees instead of 75 earlier to buy a product worth $1 from the US. So, depreciation of a country's currency is good for exporters and bad for importers of that country. On the other hand, the effects of appreciation of a currency are the exact opposite. Appreciation of a currency is bad for exporters and good for importers of that country. You might have heard the word currency war. It essentially means countries actively and deliberately lowering the value of their currencies in order to make their exports more competitive.